Welcome aboard, everybody. It's your pilot wannabe again, Papa Whiskey Bravo. Back here for part 2 of this leg of the lower 48 caps tour. I have the simulator paused right now because it's really noisy this close to the airplane, but I just thought it was a cool shot and I wanted to share it with you guys. After the title card, we'll get back into the flight plan to refresh ourselves on where we're at. See you there. Okay, real quick. We were flying from Bolton Field in Columbus, Ohio to Harrisburg International in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and we're doing it all with VORs. We're just about to the penultimate or second to last VOR. And all this time, I'll put it in the description, the first one, but all this time I realized I never told you what VOR stood for, aviation and all these crazy acronyms. It's a very high frequency omnidirectional range transmitter. The whole name for a VOR is a VORTAC. So very high frequency omnidirectional range transmitter is a VOR. Anyway, but yeah, we're about to hit the VOR, the JST VOR. And then it's, you can see here, 96 miles, I'm sorry, 81 miles at a heading of 096, then to the HAR VOR. All right, we're just going to slide back into the plane here, and I will unmute it because, like I said, it was noisy outside the plane. All right, we've got 3.8 miles to go, nautical miles to go, till we hit JST. And then it was 096, I believe, was our heading after that. So what we're going to do, I believe we're on 096 already. So it's probably not going to represent any kind of a change. No, I'm not sure. Let me go back and I'll go back and look. Leave you guys in the plane while I look. Yeah, 096, and we were already on 096. So it's going to be pretty uneventful, I'm afraid. I didn't really look at that terribly close. Yeah, 096, and then after JST, it's going to be 096. But what we are going to do is after we pass it, we're going to tune in that unrelated VOR into nav 2 so we can use this VOR instrument to track our progress between the two navs as if we didn't have the distance measuring stuff here in the Garmin. So that's the plan, and we're about to switch over, which, like I said, should be well, it did switch to roll because it lost signal. And, it's probably going to be a little not exactly the same. I'm going to switch to heading mode. Yeah, there's a good chance that once it picks up the other side of it, it might be a different story on the CDI needle here. Yeah, it's starting to go out a little bit. And we're 1.3 miles away. We can probably switch back to nav. Okay, switching back to nav. And that's all she wrote. All right. Other than that, everything's going pretty well with this old airplane. I closed the cowl flaps all the way, and the temperature needle did come up on the cylinder head temperature. It's not very exacting, like the bottom is 200, the top is 500, and we're somewhere in between. With the cowl flaps opened, it was, I'd say, on the downside, the low side of halfway. With the cowl flaps closed, it went significantly to the high side of halfway, and so I opened the cowl flaps halfway, and that's where we've ended up. When we descend, which I'm really not sure how I'm going to calculate the descent since we're using VORs and everything. When we descend, I need to remember to close the cowl flaps all the way and possibly turn on the carb heat. I really don't think that Coronado modeled carburetor icing in this plane, but just once in a while I'll probably whack the carb heat on just to you know, for the sake of simulating realism. Anyway, but yeah, that plane's going flying good. Plenty of fuel still. Still 3/4 of a tank in both tanks. We've only used 13.6 gallons. It's a comfy plane. Something about it just seems comfortable to operate. It is one of these where if you look directly to the side, you're just staring at door frame, but it gives you a nice view of the ground, though, which is cool. All right, well, let's swap over and look at a couple of things in Sky Vector. Okay, so the VOR we're going to use to monitor our progress is this one up here, the Phillipsburg PSB. It's 115.5. 115.5. Let's go back and put that in the plane real quick. 115.5, right? 115.5. We're gonna throw that into nav 2. 115.5. We're gonna swap it over. That halfway point was around 185, I think. Oops, wrong way. So, ooh. Okay, let me see if I can use the knob for this. 185 was the halfway point. But we could pick something in between right now. Switching back over. So if we were actually on our way to that one, doesn't give us a nice convenient line, what would it be? It would be around what, 035, 040, something like that. Actually going this way, it would be 220 or 230, right? And this is 185 over here. So what if we pick 200? It should 200 would kind of see. Imagine the radials coming out from this, and this is radial 185. So what if we picked radial 200? That would land down in here somewhere. Let's go take a look. 200 would be about there. See, we can keep going till we center up, and then we know where we are in relation to it. Yeah, see there, it's moving. So right now, if we wanted to go to that Phillipsburg, we would go on an opposite course of this. We would go that bottom arrow down here. It looks like it's at C3, 4, 5, 4, 4, 8, 4, 6, thereabouts, somewhere down here. Yeah, see, we can monitor our progress here. So if we set this to 200, then eventually the needle will swing down when we know that we're 200. We're on the 200 radial from Phillipsburg. And then we'll switch it to the 185 and so on and so forth, and that can help you keep track of where you are if you don't have the distance measuring stuff here, which right now the distance measuring thing is showing us how far away from JST we are. We haven't swapped it yet to the last one, HAR. I think I already plugged in HAR. Let me see, I have notes here. Don't need to switch back to Sky Vector just yet. HAR 115.35. Yes, 115.35. It's HAR. Okie dokie. Well, I might as well pause the recording again and let it go a bit. And I did the needle move. You know what? Instead of pausing right now, let's do this. Let's go back to back to Sky Vector and talk about the descent, because we're going to have to figure that out. And when I say we, I mean me. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to way overshoot. All right, so we need to be down to 1,300 feet, according to the details on the page on the airport. We need to be down to 1,300 feet by the time we get to the Harrisburg International Airport right here. What does it say? Oh, yeah, Middletown. Curious. Anyway, we need to be down to 1,300 feet. We've only got 16 nautical miles on that side of HAR. 16 nautical miles is hardly anything. I'd say that we should try to be down to, oh gosh, I don't know, 3,000 feet. At least down to 3,000 feet, if not lower, by the time we hit HAR, if that's ever going to work out. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say that we need to be down to 2,500 feet. Let's see. Yeah, look, there's ILS approaches and stuff. Let's look at one of the approach plates and see what kind of altitude you're supposed to be at to hit approach patterns. 2,800 feet. 2,500 feet. Let's look at one for the opposite runway. 3-1. We've got 3,000 feet. Okay, I like 2,800 feet better. Let's figure we need to be down to 2,800 feet by the time we hit HAR. I'm willing to bet we're going to have to start descending pretty soon. Okay, let's go ahead and switch this to HAR, which first I'm going to get my heading bug lined up. Whoa, why is it going so fast? Why is it moving so fast? What on earth? I don't know why. Sometimes it turns really fast with the physical knob, and sometimes it doesn't. I do not know what's controlling that. Okay, let's line that up, and we'll switch to heading mode so it doesn't go crazy, and we'll swap the nav over to HAR. Yeah, it went a little crazy there, so we'll use the heading bug. See, now it's turning slowly. Use the heading bug to try to get this course deviation needle back in one piece again, and then when it's back in one piece or really close to being back in one piece, I'll hit nav again and it'll line us up. But what I was trying to accomplish by doing this is getting a sense of how far away we are, how much we have to work with. This doesn't give us time, does it? Yeah, we don't have anything giving us time. So we have to figure it out. We're going 163 knots over the ground. We only got 54 miles to go, and we need to lose just over 6,000 feet at 500 feet per minute. Oh, look, this needle's coming in. Okay, let's put it on 185 now, so we know we're like halfway. Ooh, did it again. That's maybe 185, maybe. Giving myself a few different things to think about here, aren't I? Because I gotta watch this also. See that course deviation needle is coming in. When it does, I'm gonna hit nav. All right, I'm going about, I'm going more than 3 times the speed that's equal to the distance that we have, so that means like 20 minutes. Somewhat less than 20 minutes until we hit HAR. And I've got 12 minutes of descent to do. So when this gets down to I don't know, 40 miles, maybe we'll start descending. Yeah, how bad can it be? Yeah, this is not being very scientific. This isn't the reason for this flight. I was just focusing on the VORs. I wasn't trying to get all fancy on the, descent. And it's not like I can have the 530 tell me when to start descending, because the 530 doesn't even know what our destination is. It's clueless at this point because we didn't use the GPS. So it's got nothing. It doesn't know what we're doing. It's just along for the ride, basically. Other than, providing a nav radio 1. Well, still haven't managed to rein that course deviation needle in. Well, let's keep turning right until we can get it in. Oh, clouds ahead. Well, I know we were basically simulating a IFR flight anyway, in which we would be able to fly through clouds. I'm wondering if we shouldn't just go ahead and start descending early, so we don't have to try to cram it all in at the end, and then we can go under those clouds while we're at it. I mean, realistically, if I were a real pilot, even on an IFR, I might be like, hey, I'm heading into some clouds. You think I could get a new altitude a couple thousand feet lower and go under this? So yeah, let's do that. Let's go down to 7,000 feet. Trying to keep an eye on the CDI over here. Let's go down to 7,000 feet. I'm gonna enrichen the mixture just a smidge. I'm not gonna mess with the prop. I am going to back the throttle off down to like 21 psi. Gonna close the cow flaps all the way and start us on a descent at 500 feet per minute. There we go. Okay, CDI is close enough. Hitting the physical button to switch back to nav mode. Our Phillipsburg VOR is starting to swing in, so it means we're getting around that roughly halfway point. So yeah, not going too bad. Wow, it's still really aggressively grabbing the VLOC though, just super aggressively. Yeah, we must have a pretty stiff crosswind at this point. All right, I don't think 2,000 feet lower is going to run us into those ridge lines down there. I don't think. At least we're getting into some more interesting geography now. All right, we're just about at the halfway point. My ground speed hasn't gone up tremendously, so I'm happy with where the throttle is set. Temperatures aren't, well, the EGT dropped through the floor, so I guess I'll give it a little bit of burst of carb heat for a minute or so. Well, a few seconds. Carb heat, I guess, in real life, it takes some of the exhaust and blows it, routes it around back through the carburetor to make sure ice isn't forming in the carburetor. But it's not great for your engine to be ingesting its own exhaust all that much. So it's not like it's something that you just turn on and leave on the whole time you're descending. You just give it a shot once in a while, make sure things are staying thawed out. I wonder if there's anything I can do with the mixture to raise the EGT any. Yeah, backing the mixture off some. That raised it a little bit. I'm gonna leave it there for now. All right, we passed the halfway point. Let's switch this to HAR also. So 115.35. 115.35 swap. And of course we're not anywhere near Ooh, there it goes. Yeah, it's pretty close. It says more like 094, and we're supposed to be 096, but that's okay. Crosswind is wreaking a bit of havoc with everything. Yeah, I mean we're straight up, like, feels like we're leaning into the wind a little bit. Okay, it's gonna be noisy for a second. I'm switching to the outside view. Yeah, we're not really leaning, but yeah, I just love how those look with the smooth bottom. Yeah, we're definitely getting into some clouds. Let's see, 7,300 feet. Yeah, we're not gonna quite get under them at 7,000 feet. Maybe 5 miles to go. I wonder if we shouldn't go ahead and just keep descending to. Let's go down to 5,000 and see what we've got. Yeah, we'll just keep on descending. Another shot of carb heat for a bit. Yeah, if I was flying this all the time, I would definitely get the carb heat and the cowl flaps, see if I could set them to some. Weather for Harrisburg. 297. Okay. 2999. Let's look at the altimeter here. 2999. Significantly lower. All right, we can stop monitoring that. Well, let's see, wind 297. Yeah, not much wind at 3. 297. How does that compare to the airports there? Let's switch over and take a look. When I say airports, how's it compare to the runways there? 297. Yeah, we've got a 1-3 and a 3-1. Assuming 3-1 would be the way to go. Let's see, do they have a tower? They have a tower. We'll go ahead and have the tower pick us a runway. They've only got the one runway, the 2 directions, so it's not like they're going to give us you know, it's not like my home airport that has a whole runway that the ATC and the simulator is wholly unaware of. So it's probably going to be 3-1, which is a true heading of 297, which is exactly the wind heading. Well, that's cool. All right. Switching back. All right. So call the tower when we're a little closer. We've still got 30 miles to go to HAR, which is 16 miles away, and like I've said before, it's pointless to try to call an airport in the sim when you're more than 30 miles away, really. It'd be great if you could just tune in the frequency for the tower, but the simulator doesn't let you do that. I mean, you can tune it in all you want, but you won't get the choices coming up in this menu, you know, where you're choosing that you want to make a full stop landing and whatnot. You won't get those choices unless you pick it off the nearest airport list. So stupid. But yeah, we're way too far away to find it on the nearest airport list. You gotta be, like I said, unless you're flying to an island and there's one airport within 100 miles, you really need to be 30 miles or closer to catch it on the nearest airport list. All right, I'll go ahead and pause the recording for now, and we'll get back together when we're getting closer. See you in a minute. Okay, we're getting close. I'm getting ready to Wow, the plane just really had to nose up there for a second to hold altitude. That was interesting. Anyway, we're getting ready to. I think I'm going to descend to 2,800 feet and try to call the airport. I'm going to start the descent to 2,800 feet and then call the airport is what I'm trying to say. So we will begin the descent. Feet per minute. I'm gonna back the throttle off, back down to like 16 or so. After we hit HAR, which is in 10 and a half miles, our course is going to be 125 to the airport. But right now we have 10 miles to HAR, and it said that HAR was 16 miles from the airport, so we're under 30 now. So we're going to call, or try to call the airport, and see if they give us runway 31. How is the airport again? Harrisburg International. Okay, so KMDT. KMDT. Mike Delta Tango. Looking for Mike Delta Tango. Harrisburg, there it is. Whoop, it tried to move away from me. Tried to get away. We already had the Addis. Call the tower. And requesting a full stop landing.
Tower 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is 23 miles west, 4,400 feet with Quebec to land. November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo Tower.
300.
Altimeter 30.00, wind 251 at 6. Enter left traffic runway 31.
Left traffic for runway 31. I'll answer in.
Make left downwind runway 31 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
Downwind for 31. I'm not going to, obviously since I'm using both the CDI and the heading bug for navigation still, I'm not going to set, use those. Lots of times I'd set the CDI needle to be the runway heading, the true runway heading, and I'd set the heading bug to be opposite that for the downwind and all that. But since we're not using the GPS and we're using this stuff, we're going to have to kind of hold off on all of that. So 297 will be the runway heading, and the opposite was, what was it, 117, I think. I guess we'll go over and look real quick while we have a moment. 117. 297 and 117. Right. So we'll do a downwind on 117 and bring it around for a landing on 297. At least that's the plan. See, we're still descending. 100 feet per minute. So of course, still must have a fairly hellacious crosswind because of how the nose is pointed, 10 degrees to the left of the track that the autopilot's following to get to the VOR. Yeah, definitely prettier scenery here. And we've only used 17.6 gallons so far. Not sure you'd use a lot less than that if you drove a SUV or a pickup truck from Columbus, Ohio to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I don't know, I'd have to look at the miles on Google Maps. Alright, we've got, we're just about to hit the okay, switching to heading mode because we're about to hit HAR. Switch to heading mode and turning my CDI to the new heading, which is 125. Okay, now we just hit it. Oops. I'm turning the Heading bug. I turned the wrong knob at first. Turn the radio knob. Oh, and we're leveling off at 2,800 feet. Alright, let's see if we can... Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna hit nav mode right now. There we go. Ha! Yeah, still overshot it. I overdid it that time. I was overly aggressive on that one. Alright, so we've only got less than 15 miles to go. Oh my gosh, this thing's going crazy trying to catch the heading. Don't even know which direction to look for the airport yet. Oh, I think I see blinky lights. That's probably the airport right there. Huh. Interesting. Left traffic will be over the river. It looks like whatever river this is. I guess we should try to figure that out at some point. Let's go ahead and keep descending down to pattern altitude. What do you say? Pattern altitude was, what'd they say, 300? 1,300 feet? 1,300 feet. Yeah, let's keep bringing it down. Let's go ahead and go down 500 feet per minute and get down there. A little more carb heat. See, I got the flaps closed, cowl flaps closed. I'm going to go ahead and turn the landing and taxi lights on. Neither of them are connected to the landing gear. They're both the front of the fuselage right under the prop. Yeah. Neighborhood down there with the green roads, thanks to Bing. Bing makes them all green roads. Yeah, so that must be 1-3 we're looking at. I'm assuming that there's not another, that I'm not getting confused and seeing an airport between us and the one we want. Because there's one there and one there. I have landed at the wrong airport in the simulator before. Yeah, no. MDT, Mike Delta Tango, is right there on the river. That's the one. That's the one we're looking for. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna do a downwind over in this vicinity. So let's get the heading bug over there, and we'll switch to heading mode for our downwind. That might be a bit much. Don't need to be all the way on the other bank of the river necessarily. I don't know. We'll see. I got it beeping. Outer marker. Yeah, I'm near the outer marker for the ILS to 1-3, so that's why it's beeping like that. It's funny, the doing the downwind like this is causing us to overfly this other. Oh, you know what? It might have been the outer marker for this runway, for this one down here. That's what it was. Yeah, it was the outer marker for that one. Oh well. I think that's the one I landed at here before, so I'm trying to land at a different airport so it'll count for my 500 different airports landed at. Let's see how we doing on speed and stuff. Indicated's good. We're below flap and gear speed, so that's nice. Temperature's still good. Only a couple hundred feet to go till we're at pattern altitude. Yeah, we might as well start doing some other stuff. Okay, I'm going to turn on the fuel pump. Little boost pumps on. Never did turn on the pitot heat. Never got below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to go ahead and open the cowl flaps back up in case we got to throttle up for any reason. As soon as we're... oh, wow. I'm going to turn to the left slightly so we don't hit that ridge line on our downwind. Anyway, way. What was I saying? I got a little alarmed by that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go full rich on the mixture. We're gonna go to the tippy top of the green on the prop angle for the RPMs. Gonna stay where I'm at on the throttle for now. And when we get abreast of this end of the runway, we'll go for gear. And we're plenty slow enough already, so. Cute little airport. Right on the water. Okay, going for the gear. Here's the gear. Here's something I like about this plane. I can't say for a fact that if I won the lottery, I wouldn't get one. I might get one during my, you know, like during my single engine training. I get one and hire an instructor to teach me how to fly it. It would be my single engine plane, possibly. I don't know. If I won the lottery, I'd have to have a whole hangar for the, because I don't know, 5, 6 planes? I'm not really sure. Not sure how many I'd really have, but it'd be a few. It'd be more than 2. I can tell you that. Okay, let's see. Speed's pretty low, so I'm gonna give it some juice. And there's my clear to land. I will answer him.
Clear to land runway tree 1 Papa Whiskey Bravo.
I'm not gonna go, considering your speed has gotten pretty low, I'm not gonna go for any flaps until we're in the base, which will be very shortly. Yeah, this is a neat looking airport to land at. Okay, we're gonna call that a base. Disengaging the autopilot. Roll us into a base, although I don't have anything to aim at on the HSI. Just try and get 3-1 on the left side of it, I guess. And going for a notch of flap. Can't see anything. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna roll into a final. Gosh, it's climbing like crazy. I must have killed the autopilot right when it was running the trim up, nose up. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Gosh, I've done far worse than that. All right, I'm going for another notch of flap because I've got 3 down notches on this. Yeah, of course I'm high, especially according to the PAPI lights, the four white lights on the left side of the runway. I'm supposed to have 2 white and 2 red, but they're pretty much always all 4 white for me. All right, full forward on the mixture and props. Gears down, fuel pumps on. I got another notch of flap I can use. I need to slow down. Now I've got 1 red, so a little closer to a decent glide path now. I don't remember what the approach speed is on this thing. It's pretty low, like 80 or 85, something kind of ridiculously low like that. You're used to flying the Duke and the 310 and stuff like that. These things come in hot. All right, I'm going for the last notch of flap, but somewhat counterintuitively, I gave it a little throttle also to make sure we didn't drop out of the sky like a sofa. This is looking pretty good. Backing the throttle off. All right, close the throttle. Oh yeah, my best landing I've ever recorded. Oh my god, I didn't know what kind of short I was gonna make out of this. And putting the flaps up.
Papa
I
Whiskey
didn't.
Bravo, turn next taxiway.
Thank you. I will do that. I didn't know what kind of a short I was gonna make out of this one. I think I'm gonna make a short related to that landing, cause yeah, that one that was definitely my best landing I've ever recorded. All right, where is the next taxiway? Oh, there it is. Okay, whoa, Nelly, whoa. All right, we'll get parked over here and open the windows and flip all the switches and push all the buttons we gotta push.
Bravo, contact ground on 121.7.
Oh, sure thing, buddy. Although I don't need to do it because the guy's already trying to flag me in over there dead ahead. But I'll answer him.
121.7 Papa Whiskey Bravo. Goodbye.
Get some air in here. Oops, I opened the door. That was excessive. Let's close the door and just open the window. There we go. Okay, let's get the throttle up. Give us 1,000 RPMs. Let's cut the mixture for taxiing. I already put the flaps up. Turning the fuel pump off. Never turned on the pitot heat. Turning off the landing light and strobe light. And setting the transponder to standby. That should be good for taxiing over to the parking. Alright, we'll pretend we called ground and ground told us to taxi over to these clowns over here. Here's the whole nose high attitude again. Let's see, we did that whole flight with less than 20 gallons of fuel. So filling it up was excessive. He's telling me to turn left already, which doesn't make sense. I try to face him. I don't know what he doesn't understand about that. I try to face him. See, now I'm headed right towards him. Yeah, him or her, whatever, them. Okay, there we are. Okay, parking brake. Turned off the taxi lights and nav lights. Left the beacon light on. What else should we do? Let's go ahead and turn off the avionics. I cut the throttle already. Let's cut the mixture. That, for whatever reason, closed our windows. Open the door. And turn off the generators and the main battery. And we'll hop outside. Pretend to hop outside. Alright. Well, that was the Cessna 182 RG2 from Coronado. And that was flying using VORs. I'm sure it was all demonstrated and explained poorly. We'll talk about VORs a little more in the future in different planes. And we are now in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in our on our lower 48 caps tour. And I'm probably going to make a short out of that landing because that's my best landing I've recorded yet. Wish there was a way to have an external view at the same time, but I'm not aware of that. At least I don't think there's any kind of a... Yeah, this is all related to active pause and stuff. I don't think there's a camera view where you can go back in time or anything. Yeah, don't think so. Anyway, well, that was another flight. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Papa Whiskey Bravo, signing off.